Hey everyone, welcome back to Crystal Beyond Labels. I know y'all recognize that video. That is a compilation of the incident that happened at Tennessee State University last week. And I know you've heard different people speak about it, but I wanted to take it from a different point of view today. Something that God put on my spirit, something as I was watching the video, I realized this is the consequence of when men are emasculated and women become domineering, when we have come out of God's order. And that's what we're going to discuss today. I'm going to show it to y'all, and I'm going to show y'all where it stems from. Again, that Jezebel spirit that I'm always talking about. If y'all have ever read in the Bible about Jezebel, the women on that campus definitely embody that Jezebel spirit, and they're getting their marching orders from the Jezebel president of the school that they have, and the Jezebel people leading BLM. So let's get into this conversation. So last week at Tennessee State University, the Fearless Fearless Tour was out there. They were out to speak to them about, they are like Charlie Kirk. They go out and they speak to different people. They've been doing this for a while as well. They go out to different campuses to have conversations, just, civil debate and share ideas, hear from others, and they share their ideas, and we can see where each other's coming from. So last week, they went to Tennessee State University, their first HBCU. Now, let you see what they look like on campus. This is what they look like on campus. Two guys, a camera, their poster board that says DEI should be illegal with their handles, their social media handles, and then another sign that says deport all illegals now, let's talk. Now, I know y'all have heard what happened at Tennessee State University, but please explain to me what on that sign would have anybody act like they have no common sense. I can't see it. But with that being said, I want y'all to see what actually happened when they first got on campus. So this is going to be a longer video because it's going to show what happened initially. And I'm going to stop it and point out the things that I want y'all to be aware of. So here is the video of them when they first got onto campus. And
So what part of our systems is for people of color?
All of it. The entire system is for everybody. Anybody who's an American citizen.
So you feel like there's nothing. So you feel like everybody's equal.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's equal in their rights, but not everybody's obviously equal in their, what they have. Like, I grew up in a double wide trailer. He grew up in Boca Raton. So, we didn't grow up equal. We're both white. I mean, he's a Jew, so that's probably why he grew up in Boca Raton. But, so we're not equal in what we possess as we start always, but we are equal in what we're allowed to do, our opportunity.
Can I ask you, do you think that there's any law that allows me to do something that you can't do, for example?
I don't think there's any laws that say that you can do something that I can't. But then again, this system can't be ignored. Like, we can't just say it does not exist because there are countless examples of it existing.
Maybe just one example of what you're talking about. So what's wrong with a system that allows, I guess, racism to be systemic or institutionalized?
I mean, I would argue the opposite. Like, again, we have civil rights acts on top of civil rights acts, in addition to the 14th Amendment's equal protection clause. 14th Amendment being written for the sole purpose of expanding and equalizing the rights of white people and black people. And furthermore, the 14th Amendment equal protection clause echoes exactly what the Civil Rights Act says. Rights. You cannot be discriminated based on your inalienable characteristics.
so as you can see so far, everything is moving smoothly. There's no problems. People are recording. They're having a civil debate. Discussion is happening. Things that you expect that would happen on a college campus when someone comes to debate with you, okay? No one is losing their mind about the hats or their sign. They're just having civil discourse, conversation. So let's keep going.
It's like your race, your sex, your sexuality, etc.
But even though we have these laws, that doesn't stop it from happening. We still know that.
You're right, racism does happen still, even though there are laws that ban it. And I think that those laws are oftentimes used to enforce a culture of anti-racism. In the United States, we actually cancel people for being racist all the time. But we have in the system, as far as the system goes, you can't stop people from being racist on an individual level, unfortunately. It happens in every country, on every continent, all around the world, and it has since the beginning of time. But what you can do is make it illegal to institutionalize it by saying, you can't allow you have to allow everybody to eat at your restaurant. You can't not admit people based on their color. You can't prioritize people based on their color, etc. And I would say getting rid of DEI works towards that objective.
So y'all had say make America great again? How do y'all feel that America is not great? And how do y'all feel that America can be great again? And when was it great?
Yeah, I would say that the most recent example of America being great was the first term of Donald Trump. And then we had 4 years of Joe Biden and chaos, and then Trump is president again. So this is his campaign hat, or his lead up to the second term.
So you can tell they're having great conversations. Again, the young man is having a conversation with them. They're not yelling. They're just talking. Of course, they're going to speed it up to show you how this transitions. You see people are showing up there. Then you start hearing people start to get a little bit louder. Majority women. But let's keep going. So you can see that young man stayed up there for a while, just having a conversation with them. It was fine. It was a very civil conversation. But let's keep going. So let me see if I can push that back a little bit. I want y'all to see. I want to bring y'all attention to this. So again, the gentleman, he came up, he spoke, and everything. The first person to come back up would be the young woman. She comes up. The signs are there. If she didn't agree, she could have walked off. But no, she decided to come up and throw the signs down. That's the first thing. So first woman. Second, now a woman comes up and she asks if she could take a picture. Let me pull this right here so y'all can see. So she drops the signs. Then the girl here that's coming up here in this all white with the glasses, she now comes up and she asks to take a picture. He holds up the sign and she snatches the sign.
No. Come on, really? Seriously?
Why? Why did she have to do that? And so you see a gang of women start showing up. There's actually less men than women there at this time. If y'all are paying attention to the scenery, it's more women than men. And the men who find it deplorable the way they're acting, they're not really saying anything. And then you have the men who are clearly emasculated, like the young man in the plaid pants. You can tell that he's been emasculated. He's been under women his entire life. So he right there, instead of looking at the situation saying we shouldn't do that, he's like, oh, okay, let's keep going. Yo. So now, after the woman took it, now this person has to take it because now there has been a green light because these women started acting up. So now others are now going to join in. And so this man is trying to stop them from taking his signs. And this is the minute when this man, who was clearly emasculated, and honestly, I'm not even gonna lie, I think he would have stomped this black boy. I don't know why he think him raising up was gonna do something. Him and his slippers. What was him and his slippers gonna do? I'm just saying. But anyway, he runs up in the guy's face. But the guy, again, he has decorum. He's not here to fight. He's here to have a civil debate. Now, again, let's look at the crowd. I need y'all to pay attention to this crowd. Do y'all see this crowd? Let me make it a little bit bigger for y'all so y'all can see. Look at this crowd. It's majority women. There's men there, but it's majority women. Let me just make it even bigger for y'all to see. Majority women, limited amount of men. If you pay attention, it was the women that came in and were the troublemakers of this entire thing. But let's keep going.
Okay. Guys, we're literally just here to have civil discussions.
Can y'all see more women? This is when they took the sign. More women show up. More women are showing up, and it's women, the black women here, that is causing the problems. It is really limited men.
Bring the sign back.
So let's look at this image now. Let me blow this up for y'all again. These women with their bad wigs. Lord Jesus. Yes, I'm going to say it. They're bad wigs because it's bad wigs. Here on this campus, majority women. I want y'all to see that. It's majority women that are involved in all of the tomfoolery. There are men there. There are men there. but it's a majority women that are pushing this behavior. I remember when women were the definition of class, decorum, elegance, not today's women. These type of women are ratchet gutter females. That's what they are. I don't care if they're in higher education. As we looked up, they get a 91% acceptance rate there and a 14 to 15% graduation rate. I don't think these women are the cream of the crop. I don't care what you say. I don't care. It is not the cream of the crop. And you getting your degree, I know they like to say Black women are the most educated. Listen, and education means you can follow directions. That's not wisdom. I need y'all to understand that. If you don't have wisdom, you have nothing. So your education means squat to people that have wisdom. I just want you to be aware of that. But let's keep going. Women used to be the definition of elegance and grace. This is not what that is. But let's keep watching this video. I want y'all to keep seeing as it keeps going. Do y'all hear it? These poor, uneducated fools. And I will use the word fool because in the Bible, that is what they are. These poor, uneducated fools. They have the audacity to start yelling and chanting Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. The same Black Lives Matter group that took everybody's money allegedly, bought up fancy houses, gave themselves 6-7-figure salaries, did not give money to the people they claim were going there. Out of the millions they got, they gave a third of it is what they gave to charity, and the rest they pocketed. That's the Black Lives Matter that y'all talk about? Poor uneducated fools. But let's keep going. Again, let me blow it up for y'all. I'm going to blow it up for y'all again. These are women. This is what you call a Jezebel spirit. Look at this one face here. Look at her face. Look at her face. This is a Jezebel spirit. 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 This is a Jezebel spirit that's so confused she doesn't know if she wants to be a woman or a man. All Jezebel spirit, all of them. All of them. And I need y'all to go and look up what the Jezebel spirit is. They're the ones that want to emasculate men. They think they don't need men. They think they're better than men. Yeah. That's what people are raising now. That's what people are raising. They're not raising women. They're not raising women of God. They're not raising Esthers and Ruths. They're raising Jezebels. Okay? That's what they're raising. And that's what these women are. These young women are. And it's so sad. But let's keep going. So they went and they got a sign. Let me see if I can get it back.
We're gonna do like a little end live pre-game, post-game situation. We have 500 people watching.
I want y'all to see the BLM sign that they have back there. They took their sign, the people's sign, and folded it up and wrote BLM on it. These poor, unfortunate fools, uneducated.
100 right here watching. Look. Whoa. This is insane. What the heck? Oh my gosh.
Well, I think the Fearless Tour definitely made an impact.
Yeah. Oh, whoa.
Somebody throw something in our car?
They just tried to hit the car. Oh my gosh.
I think Forrest is still out there trying to make sure the car.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
So at this point, the cops fear for their safety because these young people, because they're not children, they're adults, have no decorum, no common sense. They look like a bunch of animals, especially the unfortunate bad wearing wig women look like animals and they're behaving like animals. So they're like, nope, we need to get y'all out here safety. And these people are trying to get out because clearly you don't want us here. So we're trying to get out. Let's see how it is trying to get out.
Thank you, officers. Wow. Hey.
They're hitting the cars. We're hitting the car.
They threw a drink up top.
They threw a drink on top of the car.
Directly after, so everyone can see exactly.
Holy shit.
Did y'all see those guys? Let me see if I can rewind back to those guys.
Threw a drink up top. Oh my gosh, they threw a drink up top. We got this all live. I'm posting this direct.
Do you see the guys? The guys are just there. They're not involved. They're just there. They're like, what is happening? Now the ones, I believe the ones that have father figures, male figures that raised them correctly, they're just there. They're like, what is going on? You don't see them in all of the antics. The ones who are effeminate and emasculated, like old boy who tried to raise up in the guy's face with them plaid pajama pants. Yeah, he's effeminate. He's emasculated. That is why he was behaving as such, allegedly.
After, so everyone can see exactly.
Holy shit.
Oh my gosh. All right, guys, we are
So now they're trying to leave. Let's look at this gray vehicle in front of them.
out of here. We'll see you later. Fearless Tour Gang.
Are they gonna block me in here now?
I think that might be what they're trying to do.
What is that? What is that? So when white people come around, y'all don't know how to act? Y'all don't know how to behave around white people? Like this is pathetic.
They're intentionally blocking us.
They're blocking us. I'm not gonna head now, I guess. We got more stuff. They're hitting the car.
I thought they wanted us to leave.
They're hitting the car. We're trying to leave, and they're telling us to leave, and they don't want us to leave, I guess. Hey, they are still hitting the car. I want to see you in person.
Look, they're intentionally blocking us. They want us to leave, but they don't want us to leave.
It's like the biggest conundrum of all time.
They can't argue with their mouth. They don't have any intellect. They talk about being educated, but they are not intellectuals. Hence why the only thing that these people could do was throw up a middle finger. They couldn't even have an articulate conversation. The only one that I saw that had the articulate conversation was the young man that went up and had the conversation with them. The rest of them are not smart. Hate to tell y'all that.
They're still hitting the car. This is wild. It's like a zombie apocalypse or something, man. Like they're
You see? And this is another one, another Jezebel. She got the sign, she wrote BLM, and now she's in front of them, and she feels proud. BLM, Black Lives Matter. Yay, Black Lives Matter. Tell me how Black Lives Matter helps y'all. Tell me how that works.
whoa! That was loud.
She's gonna do this the whole way out of here. Oh, here we go.
They do not debate with their ideas, guys. They just, whoa. There, we're gone now. We are gone now. Oh.
So, yes, that was what happened when they were at TSU. So then I want you to see what the president of TSU said. Let's see what she said. Today, a group of individuals unaffiliated with the Tennessee State University appeared on campus without prior notice in accordance with university policy. Any demonstration? Was there a demonstration? I don't remember seeing a demonstration. I remember two people just sitting down having a conversation. Or protest activity. Again, it wasn't a protest. They were sitting and having a conversation. A publicly funded university, taxpayers pay for, came on the campus to have a conversation. There was no demonstration. There was no protest. But this is what they decided to put out. You see, even the people in charge of their university is not intellect, don't have any kind of intellect either. Wow. Or protest activity requires advance approval and permitting. Campus police and staff responded promptly, and the individuals were escorted from university grounds without incident. Yes, they were escorted because of their safety. Understand that. At all times, TSU students conducted themselves in a professional and respectful manner. Wait, what? Professional and respectful manner. Does that look like a professional? I'm sorry. Do we have the same definition for the words professional or respectful? I feel, see, that's what I'm telling you. And education means nothing when you don't even know the definition of words, because clearly the person that wrote this, they don't understand the definition of professional and respectful. The safety and well-being of our students, faculty, and staff remain our highest priority. TSU will continue to uphold our university policies and ensure that campus remains a safe, welcoming, and orderly environment for all members of our community. That is what she had to say. Let me hear from my in my head buddy, Jeff Mead.
They threw a drink up top. Oh my gosh, they threw a drink up top. Yeah. Oh, whoa. Did somebody just throw something in our car? Arrest. They just tried to hit the car. They're still hitting the car. Whoa! That was loud.
Now let some black people go to a predominantly white institution and get treated like this, and you guys would be screaming and crying about racism. White supremacist this, white supremacist that. This was egregious. This was pathetic. Look at how the students at this school treated these guys' security guard. Like a bunch of rabid animals. It's what it seems like. All because these gentlemen wanted to come on campus and have open debates. And aren't colleges supposed to be the place where intellectuals exchange ideas? All of this because they came and set up on campus to have open debates. By the way, I'm gonna say it right now, this university is a joke. Look at what the university said. Today, a group of individuals unaffiliated with Tennessee State University appeared on campus without prior notice. In accordance with university policy, any demonstration or protest activity requires advance approval and permitting. Campus police and staff responded promptly, and the individuals were escorted from university grounds without incident. This is where it's crazy. At all times, TSU students conducted themselves in a professional and respectful manner. You know we can see the videos, right? This genuinely made me think, if they're willing to lie like that to our faces after we can see the video, how do we know they're not lying about who actually graduated, who actually passed the classes? If they're gonna lie like this, for all we know, they could just be handing people degrees. This is pathetic. But notice, all those so-called black leaders, you're not seeing them come out and condemn this pitiful behavior. Our standards are at the bottom of the barrel. And so many of us just seem to be okay with that. Black excellence this, black excellence that. And then they look at this and they don't say anything. I don't think there's any other word other than pathetic. Well, I don't know if there's any nicer words other than pathetic. And this is one reason why the black community struggles. We do not have standards. You do not see black leaders coming out aggressively and condemning this. We have a problem with accountability, and our standards are at the bottom of the barrel. Again, it's pathetic. Oh, and Tennessee State is a joke.
Jeff is correct. Jeff is 100% correct, because where were the leaders to come out and condemn this bad behavior? I did see like a gentleman that was an alumni that condemned it. I saw people, regular everyday people condemning the bad behavior, but for some weird reason, black leaders weren't there to speak. Let me hear from on the Democrat liberal side, but let's hear what my favorite Byron Donalds had to say.
Listen, this is outrageous. Tennessee State has a responsibility to have their campus be under control. HBCUs were created to allow for black students at a time in America when they were not allowed to go to a lot of universities because of segregation and racism, to have a place where they could go and learn and debate and be educated. And so this behavior that Tennessee State's going to allow is frankly wrong. These students need to be allowed to come and have their case be made peacefully in our country. And so what you're seeing in these images is Tennessee State is not actually upholding the values of their institution. They're allowing the mob to dictate political correctness on that campus, and it's wrong. Yeah. If you're a student at Tennessee State and you don't agree, that's fine. But to take their possessions, try to run them off campus, that's wrong. You wouldn't want that to happen to you. Everybody should be allowed to debate and have their voice be heard.
Look, if I could just plain speak for a minute, because it's so obvious. It's true. I mean, those young black students on that campus, though, they're not towing the line of the left. They're not speaking and saying the things that they're expected to say. That narrative doesn't go along with how they should vote. And that's something that some of us have heard our entire lives. Your thoughts?
You're exactly right. If you're not towing the Democrat line and somehow you're less than as a black person in this country, it's flat out wrong. And it's one of the reasons why the Democrat Party has been allowed to have so much power for so long, because they demand blind loyalty and blind allegiance. And that's changing, Harris. It's changing all across the United States. But whether it's Tennessee State or any other HBCU in America, we should be having broad debate on political philosophy, political policies, and what we want the future of America to be, not shouting people down. To be blunt, just like you said, if there were black students on a relatively white university campus and the same thing occurred, it would be a national outrage. We have to allow for free speech. That is a framework of our republic, is debate, and allowing for broad debate to be accepted peacefully and not to be harassed while you're trying to do it.
Thank you, Harris. Thank you, Byron. Because I think that's the problem. This blind loyalty, the confusion of people who seem to believe that Black Lives Matter people really care about them. When, if I'm not mistaken, let me see if I can find this for y'all. Because I swear the people in Black Lives Matter, they have played y'all over and over and over. Let me see. Black Lives Matter finances are under scrutiny. Once again, as tax documents show, the nonprofit is on the brink of bankruptcy. The organization ended last year in the red while doling out millions to those close to BLM founders. Following the unaliving of George Floyd in 2020, supporters donated a staggering $90 million to Black Lives Matter. The nonprofit ended the last fiscal year with a $9 million deficit. So they were in red. The federal filings from 2020 to 2022 showed just a third, 30 million, of the 90 million went to other charitable organizations, with 22 million going to expenses. This includes 1.6 million that went to the father of a BLM co-founder, Patrisse Cullors, for security services. Another 2.1 million went to BLM board member Shalomaya Bowers for consulting. They also, if I'm not mistaken, Patrisse Cullors and them are also associated with mansions and in both Georgia and LA, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see what else. Let's see if everyone agrees with those poor unfortunate souls that were holding up the BLM signs, because I'm sure everyone agrees with them, right? Because this here, in the past few years, BLM has been highly criticized by families of victims they used to fundraise. Breonna Taylor's mother referred to the organization as a fraud in a Facebook post. In 2021, Tamir Rice's mother told the New York Post, they are benefiting off the blood of our loved ones and they won't even talk to us. This organization has been capitalizing off of unfortunate deaths and tragedies and guilt-tripping people into sending them lots of money and donations, which I believe most people think is going to go to a good cause. And instead, they are paying themselves 6- and 7-figure salaries. Whoo! But these poor unfortunate souls wanted to hold up BLM signs. Now, mind you, they scream and yell and fuss about how Donald Trump and this administration is racist. They were upset because those people were wearing Make America Great hats. They threw up the middle fingers at them. Yet this current administration has earmarked $500 million, allegedly. I mean, it's there, for HBCUs. More money than any other president, including your savior, Obama, for HBCUs. How much did BLM give y'all? How much did he give? How much did they give y'all who were holding them signs up? Maybe Donald Trump needs to take that $500 million back from HBCUs and let BLM fund y'all. Let me know how that works out for y'all when BLM funds you. Tell me how the school is going, how everything is set up, how the dorms. Just let me know how well your HBCUs will be doing with BLM funding y'all. I think it would be outstanding, since you think that they support you, since you believe they have your back. I think that is an outstanding idea. That is what I think should be done, because all I see is these poor unfortunate souls who have been brainwashed to believe that BLM, the same BLM who tried to destroy the nuclear family, hence why there's so much Jezebel spirit moving around. They try to destroy it. people started to believe that. And as you can see, it was the women on the campus that caused the problem. It was not the men. The men were an afterthought. It was the women that caused the chaos. And let's see what the women of the campus, let me see if I can find them for y'all, because I want y'all to hear what the woman, and who is she? She is the director of alumni relations, office of the president. Let's hear what she has to say since this has happened. I think it's important that we hear what she has to say. Maybe last week when it first happened, she was just scampering for some information, but now she's ready to make a better statement. Let's see what she has come up with. Okay. Important update, TSU statement on unauthorized campus activity. Dear TSU community, this afternoon, a group not affiliated with TSU, identifying themselves as Fearless Debates, appeared on campus without approval or notice. It has been brought to our attention that Fearless Debates has visited several of the universities across the country. At TSU, the group carried poster boards with messages such as "Deport all illegals now" and "DEI should be illegal." The presence of hostile groups, hostile? So this woman ain't learned nothing, did she? I keep telling y'all, Black women are not the most educated women. Well, no, they are. They're the most indoctrinated, not educated. Indoctrinated. Because this is the dumbest thing I've heard so far. The presence of hostile groups. How is that hostile? Because they went to have civil debates? Okay. On our campus is not merely a political statement. It is an attempt to draw attention to their views by creating visibility at the expense of Tennessee State University. Not a place where people can share ideas and can learn. This was hostility. Okay. Again, do people understand the definitions of the words that they choose to use? Clearly, this woman does not. While we recognize and uphold the constitutional right to free speech, we also understand there's a difference between exercising this right and engaging in actions that seek to disrupt, demean, and incite fear within our community. Incite fear? I think the only people that needed to be fearful was Fearless Debates, because you had rabid animals running through your campus. Those are the only people that had to fear anything, because clearly y'all aren't teaching people anything out over there. They lack intellect. TSU Police Department, Metro Police Department, and staff responded swiftly by assessing the situation for any potential threat. Your students were the threat. De-escalated and escorted the individuals from university grounds without incident. TSU will not tolerate attempts to undermine the safety or value of our community. We stand in solidarity with our students and staff. We remain committed to ensuring our campus is a sanctuary for dialogue and education. No, you don't. Because they couldn't even hold a proper debate, except for that one young man. The rest of those Jezebel females that were around there, clearly they lack intelligence, because they couldn't even hold a proper conversation. Okay, they were busy screaming like banshees. Okay, they learned from you. As of this evening, we continue our investigation and are reviewing all video footage to determine how the individuals gained access to our campus. Thank you for your vigilance and for standing united in the face of provocation. Wow. You see, this is why I say Black people, the lack of accountability is sad. She's not going to stop and say the students were an embarrassment. She's not going to stop and say that these young women need to learn how to be young ladies, women of elegance, women of class, instead of banshees, gutter bunnies out in these streets. No, she's not going to say that. No. She's going to blame the people for coming to have civil debates. But she says they're open for dialogue. This campus is a sanctuary for dialogue and education. No, they're not. The proof was in the pudding there, Miss Debbie Howard, Director of Alumni Relations. Your school is pathetic. That HBCU is laughable, because no, they didn't understand how to have dialogue. They didn't even know how to use their words correctly. They knew how to throw up a middle finger, scream, and steal. That's what they knew how to do. So you're doing a bang-up job teaching the future of tomorrow. Great job, TSU. No wonder you're like, 14, 50% graduation rate? Anyway, as I say, what I wanted y'all to see is what I pointed out to y'all. A society where women have circumvented God's order, which is God, then man, then woman. The woman is the helpmate. She's not supposed to be above the man. There's a reason for that, because then you get that type of behavior. That type of behavior. They bring out that Jezebel spirit. They don't know how to act. That's why the nuclear family is in pure destruction because of women like that. And as you can see, the director of alumni relations and the president, they clearly know nothing over there. That school is laughable. And honestly, I would wish Trump would take all that school. They should get no money. Zero, no money, $0. Let BLM fund them. They don't need money from the government. Let's not fund them. Don't take my tax dollars to help fund them. Let BLM, because they support BLM and they think BLM supports them. Let BLM support them and give us back our tax dollars. Okay? Anyway, that is all I have for y'all. Thank you for joining Crystal Beyond Labels. Please take time to go ahead, like, share, comment, and subscribe. We want to make sure this video gets out to everyone. I thank y'all all for hearing my perspective on this. And look out, turn on that notification bell and all so you know whenever I go live, so you can catch some of my Bible studies and my talks, because you know we do everything here, truth, not trends. Everything is from a biblical worldview. So thank you again for joining Crystal Beyond Labels, and I will see you guys next time. Later.